All right, guys, today I'm going to talk about aging and the secret to staying young, at least according to one individual, a name you might recognize if you're at all interested in baseball. The man I'm going to talk about is Satchel Paige. He's a legendary Major League Baseball pitcher with a career spanning 40 or 50 years. Quite illustrious. He would often be interviewed, and people would ask him about how he could stay so youthful in a competitive way, and he would give 6 secrets for doing so. I'm going to give them to you here in just a minute. But before I get any further, let me encourage you to like this video if you end up finding value in it. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Check out my other content. Share it with others. Hit the notification bell to stay apprised of future uploaded content. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would leave a comment down below, give your own account of what we're talking about today, or just share your thoughts. It's the only way I get to know you as friends without meeting you face to face, and I really cherish it. So let's talk about aging. It's not something we want to talk about, really, do we? It's not something we want to think about. In fact, most people stop having birthdays, or they claim they do, right? I'm not so sure that's a healthy attitude. I think it's something that we need to embrace, we need to think about in a healthy way. And there's a lot of people out there that are willing to dispense advice. And if they're much older and they've forged a positive path, you might want to take the time to stop and listen to them. Such a man was Satchel Paige. But it's daunting to think about how our bodies are going to treat us as we get to be older. What's waiting for us around the bend? How well have we taken care of ourselves? Have we saved enough? It's all stuff that we have to ponder eventually, don't we? But there are certain things that can make it better, and in a lot of cases, depending on how you think of it, just makes things worse. But let's go over that just a little bit. Let me introduce you to Satchel Paige if you're not familiar with who he is, because maybe you don't watch baseball, you don't know much about it. I mean, this goes back quite a ways, so it wouldn't hurt to kind of introduce you to the man, let you know more about him. He's very, very interesting. Okay, here we go. Satchel Paige, I don't need my glasses for this. Satchel Paige started playing baseball in 1926 at a time when segregation was still a thing in America, and he played for the Negro League for 16 years in quite a number of different teams. And then in 1942, he got signed by the Cleveland Indians as a pitcher at the age of 48, making him the oldest rookie in baseball. And as far as I know, that record still stands. At 48, that's when he started his major league career. Okay. And that same year, they went to the World Series and won. Isn't that something? That's a testimony to a man who hasn't let his age stop him. A lot of people are thinking about quitting well before 48. Not him. No, not him. He was not going to miss an opportunity. And then in 1951, he got picked up by the St. Louis Browns, and he pitched for them between 1951 and 1953. He actually played his last professional game on June 21st, 1966. He was just 2 weeks shy of turning 60 years old. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And he would get asked by reporters all the time, "How do you stay so young?" And he gave them 6 rules, and here they are. The last rule is the one I'm really going to focus on, but all 6 of these are gems. It's just interesting to see what people are going to come up with. And I've talked to a lot of people in my life who were way older than I was, and gotten advice from them, and you hear all sorts of things. And I think this is just as interesting. So here are Satchel Paige's 6 secrets to staying young. Number 1, avoid fried meats which angry up the blood. Number 2, if your stomach disputes you, lie down and pacify it with cool thoughts. Number 3, keep the juices flowing by jangling around gently as you move. Number 4, go very light on the vices, such as carrying on in society. The social ramble ain't restful. Number 5, avoid running at all times. And number 6, don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. Now, Satchel Paige said that he didn't actually come up with these 6 rules. He attributes them to Richard Donovan. But Richard Donovan says that Satchel Paige is the one who said these things. He just wrote it down. So who knows, right? Who knows? Does it really matter? There's no doubt though that Satchel Paige did repeat these quite often though. And here's what he said. He goes, the last one, rule number 6, don't look back. He said, the last one that fellow wrote was my real rule. When you look back, you know how long you've been going, and that just might stop you from going any farther. So I didn't. Hmm. That's an interesting outlook, right? And he's right. As you get to be older, and I'm 50, I'll be 51 in a couple months. My mother's getting ready to turn 76 this month. And as you get to be older, you look at the passage of time. You see everything back here, and you go, wow, I can't believe that much time has gone by that fast. What if I would have stayed disciplined? What if I would have kept my hand at the helm? What if I would have stayed at this task? And you begin to be filled with regret and remorse, and you begin to think, well, what's the point? I'll just, there's no point in doing anything. I'll just relax and I'll just take it easy. And people just give up. People just eventually give up. A lot of times I see that a lot. I see that more often than not. And what Satchel Paige is saying is, don't look back. Don't look back. There's something might be gaining on you, but don't pay attention to it. You don't move forward by looking back. Don't put yourself in a position to be fearful or to be sad or to be regretful about anything. I've talked to quite a few men and women over the years, 80s, 90s, and even one man that was just days away from turning 100, and I was energized by them. I was enthralled with their level of energy. And what they all say is just keep moving. Like Dory and Finding Nemo, just keep moving. That's what they do. That's what they do. They don't really stop and take time to feel sorry for themselves. And speaking of baseball, it's kind of like what Tom Hanks' character said in A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball. There's no time for looking back and thinking about what could have been, should have been. And this is something that you're going to take a little more seriously as you get to be older. So if you're 20 and 30 years old listening to this, you think, well, I got plenty of time. No, you don't. No, you don't. But it's not to strike fear into your heart, but just do something now. A lot of spoken about on videos and seminars about living the dream and following your aspirations. But what do you do just from day to day? Forget all that for a moment, just for a moment. What do you do for yourself to build yourself up from day to day, to carry you on through the years? I went down a rabbit hole with YouTube videos on men in their 80s, 90s, and even 100 years old that were still working out. And they all say what you do when you're 40 and 50 years old will determine what you're able to do in your 80s and 90s. Now they're talking, expressly about the physical aspect of things. But, if you take care of yourself physically, you'll probably be sharper mentally. Do you take care of yourself intellectually, emotionally, spiritually? Do it now. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. And it goes a long ways. Don't spend time looking back. You can't unring a bell. You can't change destroyed relationships. You can't change mistakes you made or things that you said. Even somebody who's to hold grudges against you for any of that, what can you do about it now anyway? Just keep moving forward. I stopped in and saw a friend of mine yesterday that I haven't seen in a while, and he's 74 years old. He runs a mechanic shop downtown Lakeland here. And I went in to see Charlie, and still looks good. And I know that he used to regularly work out. So I asked him, I said, Charlie, do you still exercise? He goes, that right over there is my exercise machine. He had a chin-up bar over against the wall. I said, oh, you do chin-ups? He goes, yeah, I do. I said, how many can you do? Remember, he's 74 years old. I said, like consecutively. Not to be competitive with you, because I'm not, but how many can you do? He says, well, 10 for me is really good, because I really focus on perfect technique. and because I do a lot of push-ups and stuff like that too. But I don't know how many chin-ups he does altogether, push-ups. But I am fascinated by men and women who take care of themselves as they get to be older. They're not sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. They're not having a pity party. They just keep moving. You know, every day when I get up, I say every day, 4 or 5 days out of the week, I get up and I go do my push-ups, my leg raises, my squats, my pull-ups, dips and whatnot, because I want to be able to do these things when I get to be much older. God willing, if I make it that far. If I don't, at least I didn't waste my time. But I have a lot of respect for people like Satchel Paige. Uh, they have a way about them. I seek out older people that I see that are thriving, and they're not hard to spot. They have a pep in their step. They have a gleam in their eye. They have a charitable look on their face. They're more than willing to talk to you. They have a great attitude. And it's people like that I want to be like. You know, they go to show you that it's all about what you put into it. So I hope that's helped. I hope that's meant something to you. If it has, I pray that we reflect and I begin interested in knowing what you think. Share your stories with me of people that you know that you've run across that are similar to this. I'm always interested in stuff like that. It'd be interesting to catalog all of that and write a book about it someday. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye bye.